Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I was asking on the previous video, the German tank video, which one did you guys want to see? And I got some questions about the Marder 3 and the KV-1 specifically. So what we're going to do is pull up that Marder 3 and check out the armor layout and kind of just talk about this tank. Now what's interesting is it's down the Czech tank line, the Panzer 38T. And the Marder 3 is based off the Panzer 38T tank chassis, just like the Panzer 38T Hetzer is. So, but what's also interesting, I find anyway, if you're kind of a history nerd, is that it's armed with a 76mm Pak 36, but this was basically the 76mm Pak 36 because most German field artillery and tanks had, 75mm guns. That was a very common standard of ammunition, but this was 76.2, which was captured from the Soviet 76.2mm field guns. So as the Germans were trekking east across Russia during Operation Barbarossa, they obviously captured a lot of stuff, including a great amount of 76mm guns. And as the Panzer 38T, it's a tier 1 for a reason. This tank became obsolete at a certain period of time, but you had all these pretty decent tank chassis if you could just reconfigure them. So they put them as the Marder 38T, using a Czech tank and a Russian field gun. So I thought that was really cool, and it's an open turreted tank destroyer. So what we're going to do is kind of just take it out for a little joyride real quick. And it's got 4 different rounds of ammunition to choose from, pretty standard. And then after we kind of fire the gun, get a sound, like a feel for the sound. Let's see here. So we got ourselves a T-26. At distance, not a big deal. Now how does it fare against a T-34? This is a pretty high velocity 76, so it's more than adequate in dealing with most tanks. So, I mean, we're able to penetrate at distance pretty well. Now, there's a KV-2 back there, and you can see how there's a lot of places that are yellow penetration, and even some green. And this is at great distance, so you definitely get a feel for, yeah, you're obviously vulnerable. And it can't turn all the way around. But look at that guy. He's like hunched over, just turning the wheel ever so slightly. Not a whole lot of, left and right mobility, gun depression, gun elevation. The gun elevation is pretty impressive. And let's see, gun depression. Yeah, you've definitely got a wide range of motion, both up and down. It's left and right. You're definitely going to have to use, you're going to have to traverse the tank in order to get the feel out of it. So let's get a feel for the sound once more of the gun. And then one more in the scope. So it sounds awesome. And I want to know, like, how many people are really kind of more tank destroyer drivers than tank drivers? Because I think this is a pretty good one. The only issue is you could grind up this tree. If it's a time issue for you, there's not really anything after the Hetzer. You get up to tier 3, and down this Czech tank line, there's just really nothing else later. I wonder if they'd be interested in kind of putting in some Hungarian tanks, maybe. Just like this is kind of, the minor axis power tech tree. Although I guess, you could get some Hungarian tanks. There were some decent Hungarian tanks later in the war that would fill in nicely at 3 and maybe early tier 4 because they were comparable in some aspects to Panther tanks. But so it's got a pretty good gun on there for a battle rating of 2.7. At that tier you're dealing with 50mm guns, and then the Russians, obviously, hey. It's not what we were trying to do. You've got the lower velocity 76mm guns. Look at this bad boy. 122 millimeter howitzer. Low velocity howitzers, but this one uses a ZIS-3 gun, so I'm not even sure if some of these other vehicles use it. I think maybe the Su-76 might. Not sure. Let me know for those of you tank experts out there. But so this is a little preview of the Marder 3. Czech tank, Russian gun, German ammunition. That's pretty funny to think about. And there are some other variants of the Marder 3, so maybe in the future you might get a premium one or, you know, another edition, but, you know, at this point it's not really needed. Both of the other, you know, main variants used the 7.5 centimeter PaK 40, which was a German field gun. So that would also be pretty powerful. Didn't one of these have that? I thought there may have been one. A PaK 40 somewhere in here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Marder 3. Let me know what you think. Are you still going to grind down the tree to get it? Have you already opened it up? Or are you pretty primarily stuck with, you know, the main German lines, like the Stugs and the Jagdpanzers? Anyway, my name is Baron. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to check the video description below for more patch 1.43 content. And give the video some love. Throw it a like and let me know what you think about the Marder 3. And I'll see you guys next time.